Yo,
Oh,
back in the number once again, y'all. Y'all already know,
another
man.
one.
You already know it's the Next Level Nation podcast.
Yes.
MT, what's going on with you?
King D Money, man. How do we level up this week, man?
Man, big level up energy, man. We changing the diet up a little bit, man. We talking about major diet change, man.
Yeah.
Um, Before somebody else to tell me I have to make a diet change. I got
Before
yeah,
they tell you, you want to start yourself, right?
I got a choice. I need to
Mhm.
make the choice right now. That's how we leveling up over here, man. So we big into the fruits. We big into the vegetables. We
Mhm.
try and stay whole foods.
Okay.
Um, it's
It's a struggle.
you get hungry. You get
Yeah.
hungry. Okay. But what I realized really too was
Mhm.
I was more bored than I was hungry.
Yeah.
You just like, oh, you sometimes you really don't realize that sometimes you're gonna go eat out of
Mhm.
boredom.
Yeah. You eat out of your emotions.
Like your stomach ain't even like empty yet. You're just like, oh, let me go find something to chew on. Let me go back to the refrigerator, you
Mhm.
know, open the door, go through the little ritual, you
Yeah.
know, of finding out that you really ain't that hungry
Yeah.
because you sit down and you figure out like, oh, hold on. Like
Mhm.
my brain, like this week, that's my next level up. This week, being in that state
Mhm.
of finding out that I'm bored. Not
Mhm.
really just sometimes it's just eating out of boredom. And, I leveled up on in my skills for
Mhm.
trumpet. You know what I'm saying? I found myself just doing things that I wouldn't do if I was normally satiated and
Mhm.
my brain just like, oh, cool, I'm good.
Yeah.
Now you're bored. Go create.
Go create something.
Go create something. So I've been working with the guitar, been working with the bass guitar, been working with trumpet. I've been working on my DJing,
Mhm.
working on my ear training. It's a whole lot. It's a major change in my life right now. And
Mhm.
this podcast, I had to bring it back to the pod, man.
Yeah,
I had to
man. We got
bring
to
it back
bring
to
it
the pod,
back.
tell y'all, look, it's not something you can't do. You can do it. You
True.
can make it happen. You can do a couple of things, whatever you feel you're good at, or you're just gonna be happy doing.
Mm.
Do it.
Yeah.
And the fact is, I found it a lot easier to do it when I was hungry.
Interesting.
It's like your brain is like, just fix the problem. Don't think you're not thinking about nothing else. You're not
Mhm.
trying to digest nothing. You're just kind of like, boom, you're locked in.
Yeah.
That's my level up for the week. TTMT, what's going on? What's going on with you?
My level up for this week is similar to that. I just been trying to feed my brain and feed my
Mm,
stomach in the proper way. So I've leveled up because I talked to my doctor, kind of similar on the track that you are. I'm
mm-hmm,
realizing like a lot of it has to do with discipline. Like
mm,
I have different discipline with my life since the beginning of this year. So my doctor said I needed to take care of the sugar and the cholesterol. I don't look like it, but I need to stay on top of it because it could get out of control. So I had some cheat days this week, maybe one or two, right?
mm-hmm.
But for the majority of it, I haven't drunk any type of juice with any sugar in it. So I've been drinking straight water, no juices whatsoever. And then I kind of like cut back. Haven't had any cookies, cakes, or any other, any type of like, processed sugars. Now I
Right.
had some small little cookies here and there, but I made specifically sure that it was like one or two. You know what I'm saying? And that was it.
Okay.
And
That's
then
solid.
you know what I'm saying? It's really tough because like I'm like at this point I feel much better physically,
Right.
but at the same time I'm like bored because I'm like, man, what should I eat today? Salads. And I'm like yesterday I had like half a sandwich. Like I brought a sandwich, like a turkey sandwich, but it was like a really small version. And I was giving it to my
Mm-hmm.
daughter. She's like, man, you gotta cheat one day. I was like, okay, I had this sandwich one day, but for the past week or two, I haven't eaten no bread whatsoever.
Mm.
So no bread, no pasta, and no sugar. So I've been really been good on the juices at all, no juices whatsoever. I bought some fruit, eating some oatmeal, I mean, I used to go to a Dunkin' Donuts, man, eat like them bagel sandwiches every
Yep.
day.
Oh,
Out of
oh
it,
man. What I wouldn't give for a Wendy's breakfast right now, man.
man.
Oh man, bro.
All the
It's
eggs
it,
you can eat. Now I'm boiling eggs
right.
with other things. I have a wrap that I eat. Like I go to this place called Three Native. They have like
Mm-hmm.
a wrap, but it has chicken in it. It has some other stuff in there, like like some pico, some corn. It has a couple other stuff in it, but really, really, really good for you. And the wrap tastes just like bread. It's a spinach wrap, but it tastes just like bread. And they put
Right.
everything, they wrap everything in spinach, and a spinach wrap. It's got spinach in it. Sometimes I'll have eggs, boiled eggs in it, red peppers. So everything now I'm trying to eat organically, if at all possible, and just stay away from the sugar, man. And it's helping me think. I think it's helping me think better.
Mm-hmm.
It's not improving the fact that I have a desire for other stuff. It
Mm-hmm.
also, because I'm disciplining myself in that area, I'm recognizing I gotta I'm seeing the benefits in the guitar of like practicing every single day something specific to what I need so I can build. Because sometimes as musicians, we want to get to a certain level, but then we'll play it for a little while and then you'll stop, so you do other things.
Right.
And then really never, and then you're like, damn, why didn't I get, oh, because I wasn't really focused on this. So I took one
Oh,
song and I just kind of, and there's an app that everybody you should check out called um iReal Pro.
mm-hmm.
Excellent app. Has every single song, has a bass
Yeah.
line going, the drums, and has the music going across at the same time. iReal Pro. Excellent. It has
Bro.
any song you ever could think of, jazz, gospel, and it'll give you all the chord changes and it'll run through so you can hear it and look at it and the scales and the chords. Really dope. I meant to show that to you, but we never got a chance. But I got one of my with my app that I've been telling everybody about. Um, I've been trying to press on this all this week, man. Is try to get. I was like, God, like, yo, we need to get this app running, man. What's going on? Because I was waiting on a contract from a lawyer to get
Right.
this stuff done so I could file it. Man, all type of obstacles, man. All type of obstacles. You
Everything.
just
Right.
can't give up, man. There's always opposition to purpose, and God placed that seed in me to make sure it gets done. Because Miles Monroe was saying that like if you're not willing to die for something, then you're basically not doing anything that it's worth living for.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So
brother.
you gotta get something you're willing to die for. Like, yo, this is my purpose, and I'm going down with the ship. I'm gonna get it done. Whatever God put in me to get out, that's what I have to get down. So that's how I leveled up. Oh, she said she's ready.
Well, she
Yeah.
ready whenever she pops in, man. Hey,
Hey,
y'all, we got a special guest up today,
dude.
and we're just waiting for them to pop in. We decided to push forward and start the podcast because it's time to start the podcast, guys. I
Let's
mean,
start.
like, you can't, you
Why
know,
wait?
we waited, we're waiting, and we're having a great time waiting. But when she pops in, we're gonna let you guys know. We're gonna do an introduction and everything, guys. So,
Yes.
but you know, till then,
Till then.
we're gonna talk about this leveling up.
Yeah.
We, you got to get to. I figure you got to get to a point
Mhm.
where you're gonna like you have to say no to a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like there's some things you just can't be the nice guy or the nice girl with.
True.
Like your life just has this is what I do.
Mhm.
This is how I handle things, and I can't say yes to everything and then expect what I want to grow. You can't, you know what I'm saying? I had that moment this week. I said, sometimes I just have to save some water. I'm out
Mhm.
here watering, you know,
Mhm.
feeding the kids academics,
Yeah.
and I'm not, breathing that same stuff back into myself,
Yourself.
right?
Mhm.
So I'm getting that done, and I'm just like, yo, there has to be some way to pour back into myself in order
Mhm.
to pour into all of these cups that I'm pouring into every day.
True.
So you got to, get that influence going. feel like you're doing something. I hope she doesn't. That was our guest was just backstage, and I'm waiting for her to come back, but I'll keep going. So I realized that I have to I gotta pour back into myself with creativity. I gotta be creative. I can't keep preaching be creative to all of my students, and then I'm not out here doing what I need to do.
True.
Kristina, if you see us, we're waiting to bring you back, bring you on, give you your intro and everything.
Let's go,
Okay,
Kristina. Come on
that's
in.
the thumbs up. She's already
Let's
cool.
go, Kristina.
Let's go. Let's go. TTMT. I could do it, but I think you could do it better.
Yes. So Kristina Sims is someone I just met just very recently in church, and she has a compelling story. She's a healthcare professional, mental health professional, and as a former teacher, and is from New York. My hometown, of course, Boogie Down Bronx. Shout out to those people from the Boogie Down Bronx. And so she's, without any further ado, man. Let's see if we can get her in here. She's an amazing.
Okay, so guys, you see this? We got interviews on the go. Understand?
On the go, people on the
we
go.
got interviews on the go. We ready to do this. Let's go.
Yeah, man.
Big
we got
time.
Yes.
So you understand? We got so much going on right now, man. Yeah. So we're getting ready to ramp up and do this interview series for, for an extended period of time. And this season of Next Level Nation is going to be a exploratory season. If you were here for the D&D Level Up podcast, we went, to art galleries. We went to app openings. Yeah. We started going to car shows. It happens, and guys, we are exploring this thing just to see, how we can service you guys better, man. How we can show you that if you applied yourself, you can go from doing what we were doing to doing what we're doing now.
Exactly. I mean, there's tons of people on here. Like 127 people is not anything to snooze at. Thank you guys for subscribing, please. We do appreciate you. We'd appreciate if you like, comment, and subscribe. Please comment if there's something you want to see on here, something you would like us to do. You know what I'm saying? Something that you want to know about, or some guests that you would like to have on the show. Or if you want to be a guest on the show, contact us. We have no problem interviewing you.
No problem.
No problem.
Yeah. So we're trying to get this interview done.
Yeah, we're trying to get it done. You know what I'm saying? In between her doing that, like, what revelations have you started learning, like, during this? How is it when it comes to now, like, do you feel more focused now based on that? And the food part is just one aspect of it. Is it you got tired of being a certain type of way? What triggered this in the first place?
A lot of it is self-awareness that this isn't the road I want to go down. This isn't the road I want to feed, so to speak. Yeah. Right? Like, I don't want to feel like, okay, my personal philosophy is that whatever you're doing is feeding what you're going to be later. Right?
True. Yeah.
So whatever you're doing or not doing is also part of that. So if I omit that I'm not eating great foods in my life, then I don't plan to be that great.
That's true.
Because you're putting, mediocre, low grade stuff. True. I stopped at a Checkers a month before this and was just like disgusted. Yeah, I see why the prices are a little lower.
Yeah.
Like, I see why these prices are a little lower. I see why I used to call their tea diabetic tea, because it's quite crazy the stuff you admit to, and you just don't know that you're admitting to it. So food played a big role. Health played a big role. I didn't have to have a diagnosis of anything. It's something that I already knew. It's something that I felt like hadn't changed since the last time my doctor told me it needed to be changed. So it's just a new season,
Yeah.
for me. I have to find a new way to get this body going. I know it can be done, and it took a little bit more of a push. Um, Me and my entire church family are on a corporate fast.
Okay.
Right. So taking that and knowing that God wants better for my life is like, okay, every time I pick up something else other than the word right now, I'm feeding that.
True.
And I've been thinking about that as been my thought process for a while, since I've been thinking about changing how I spend money also.
True.
So when I thought about spending money, I was like, okay, if I spend money over here, that's growing what's over here.
True.
It's not growing anything that I want to have positive happen later. So I'm thinking about it the same way with the food that I'm choosing.
Yeah.
With the activities I'm choosing to do.
Yeah.
Like this podcast.
Yeah.
Brought to our Next Level Nation. And now we're back to Kristina being on. And we're gonna bring her back to the stage.
Welcome back, Kristina.
Hi, I hope this is better.
That is a little bit better. Better.
Oh, thank God.
Definitely better.
Okay, I found the one quiet place, a nice quiet because nobody wants to be here because
As long as you can hear your flight number.
Yeah. Let's turn you up and see if we can. All right.
Okay, hopefully this works. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay. Hey, I hear you perfectly.
Okay.
Great.
Good. She can hear us. We can hear her. What's going on? TTNT.
Okay, so Kristina, so we just met yesterday, right? We had you and your friend Shinobi, and we just did have a very good conversation last night. And I thought it'd be great for you to come on to the podcast because this was also another good opportunity for us to get to know you at the same time, right? Tell us a little bit about you because I know you're in mental health. How is that? And you live in New York. You don't live here either.
Yes, so I was actually here. I needed a mental health break for myself. So quick plug, self-care is very important. As a mental health professional, I got to look out for my mental health as well. So I got a little overwhelmed, and when I'm overwhelmed, I got to stop to reset. And that's what I did coming to Florida. Stop, a little time to breathe, chill by the poolside, give my godson some kisses, and then I came to church last night. I saw me and Dirkman. Oh wait, was I not supposed to say the movie? Sorry. Well, you can crop this out. But anyway, my name is Christina. I am old. We'll say that. I'm a mental health professional. What I really do is I work with the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, also known as 988. Yeah. So when people are in crises, they call me and I help them out, kind of de-escalate whatever's going on, and then once I feel like they're stable and once they feel like they're stable, I'll give them some resources, whether that is counseling, support groups, or if they're struggling with a substance, I'll get them information for AA or for addiction counseling, but every day is different and I never know what I'm going to get.
Wow, that's deep. I mean, that's a lot of. It seems like that's a lot of pressure to maintain. Like,
a lot of pressure, a very important job.
Yeah.
That can be. Oh my God! Yeah, mental health break days. Yes.
You definitely need one, right?
I would be popping up in Florida too. I gotta go to church. Like sometimes I gotta stop for a minute, breathe.
Yeah.
Do you guys go to the same church or no?
No, we don't.
We're gonna say no.
We believe in
Okay.
the Jesus though.
Yeah, I'm like 20, 30 minutes away from his church, but
Yeah, yeah. He
Okay.
lives in Miami.
we're in the same area.
We're in the same area. We're connected as Christian brothers. Um,
Oh, that's me and my sister Novi. We're like best friends, but she's my sister in Christ.
yeah, that's cool to see that. It was cool to see you guys, ladies, together. Like, just it's not too often. I always notice that a lot of women they don't have best friends, which is I always think it's kind of weird. A lot of them don't. Why do you think that is? Like, they just can't get along.
It's a variety of factors. Sometimes it can be competition. Sometimes it actually can all start with childhood. If you don't really have a good relationship with your parents, good relationship with your siblings, you're raised with an insecure attachment, and then you want to compete. You never feel good enough. So when you find someone,
Mm,
Oh no.
we hear you.
Oh no. We hear you. You're still there.
She's still there. Okay.
okay, when you find someone that's doing well, it kind of incites something within you that maybe you feel like you're not good enough, and that competition could be a reason why. But I'm not too sure. Me and my best friend, I don't have a lot of friends, but the few that I have, we all connected in Christ. So that's a
Okay.
big thing. We pray together, and the family that prays together, the cliche stays together.
That's true. How long have you been saved?
Oof, I grew up in the church, so it all started out with my grandmother forcing me, and then I was like, you know what? I'm 5 years old. I'm going to Sunday school. Sunday school is fun. So
Mm.
I got I got baptized in the 6th grade, and I got filled with the Spirit of the Holy Spirit. When was that? Right before college. Because, I needed that for college. If I did go away to college, so I needed that.
You've been saved your whole life. Huh? You never been out there in the world, huh?
We all make our mistakes. We all do our things. But yeah, pretty much. I grew up in the church.
Okay, wow, that's interesting. So both your parents, I assume, are saved and have brought you up in that way, right? Nope.
That's my prayer, but they not. My mom used to go, my dad used to go, but for whatever reason, they do what they do, and I do what I do. I left for a time period because my parents weren't going, but I just made the decision I'm going back to church, and I've been back since.
Why do you think you made that decision and they didn't? Do you think that God's pressing on your heart more than theirs, or you just had this came to you from what reason? Just hanging around with your friend? You think iron sharpens iron? That's why, or what was the focal point that caused you to go back?
It was more like every Sunday after church, my grandmother would come and visit. Hey, come to church, come to church, come to church. And you know what? I think I wasn't getting along with my parents or something like that. So it was just like, all right, fine, I'll get out of the house. And then I don't know what happened. I just kept going back. And they welcomed me. Cause I used to go to that church when I was like, let's say 5 or 6. Left for some years. So came back, I think, how old was I? 11, 12, not sure. But they welcomed me. And it's just like God is there. I feel guilty when I'm not doing what I need to be doing for the Lord.
Interesting. Yeah.
Right, right. I remember I had a stint where I was not going to church. It was after this whole like COVID thing, and the world just did its own thing, and we just stopped going for a little while. And we'd go sparingly. Everybody likes to go on the holidays and this, that, and the other. But getting at this part of my life, I'm like, God, this is part of it. It's not just reading the word on my own and picking up a couple scriptures off YouTube and off social media. Sometimes you do have to go back and you do have to fellowship, with
Yeah.
like minded people that are in Christ. And when you don't do that, you feel like you feel like nobody can see it your way,
Mm.
and you can't be helped, and because nobody knows what you're going through, but you don't know that everybody else is going through their own little thing on their own. And knowing that, what made you go into doing the suicide watch line?
I was in college and I thought I was going to be a neonatal surgeon. That's the one for the sick babies in the NICU. I
Yeah.
was on the pre-med track.
Okay.
And I got my first C in the class ever. And I was just like, oh, this is not for me. No, 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 no. So I quit the program and switched to psychology. And I was like, oh, it's easy. I like this. Didn't know what I was going to do with it. And I ended up teaching, actually. Actually, no. First, I ended up mentoring high school, college bound students. Then I ended up teaching elementary school. And then I ended up where I am now, taking a break from teaching. End goal, I want to teach future
Yeah.
students in master's programs. So, but I gotta get that degree, first. I'm working on that degree now.
Working on a degree. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what we're talking about. We are both. Well, I'm a former teacher. I told you that I taught elementary through middle school for 18 years, and Daryl does teach presently now.
Yeah, I'm a teacher on the precipice of taking a break from teaching.
Taking a
I'm on the edge. I'm right there. Like, if I could just find another gig right now, I'm thinking about it. But I got so much invested in the school. You feel like you can't let go sometimes. I'm just like, I got like one day I'm just gonna have to just be like, okay, I want to take a little break. I want to see what else I can do. That's why
You
I
can
was.
teach teachers too.
That's
Teach future teachers.
that's what I need to do. I need to probably do. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. Never stop. I'm messing. But for real, teaching. I've been teaching in the system about 17 years. So it's like
Wow.
and I keep telling myself I've never been out of school. I don't know what it is to not be near a
That's
school,
a strange thing.
and it's
Never not be out.
I'm like, I want to do something else. I couldn't do the watch line though. I'm too much of a like
Yeah.
I feel it like I'm gonna go through with them. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like
Yeah.
I'm actually
yeah,
the same way.
okay. I'm like
I don't know
I'm
how
gonna
to
go
do
through
this.
with you, and I'm supposed to just give you these numbers. No, I gotta like I can't. I don't know. What else goes into the call? I know you said you give them the hotlines and this that, and the other, but what do you personally go through when you have a call on and it's really serious?
I gotta start by first. I'm a little bit silent, so I like to take my deep breaths. So I'm like, okay, get in the zone. This is serious because then it becomes life and death. If I say the wrong thing, then it may not turn out how we want it to.
Wow.
So
Whew. I don't can deal with that. I'd be
it's
over. I quit.
it's only the grace of God. It's
Yeah,
God because
tell it.
sometimes I gotta pray. Like sometimes I just gotta word my mouth because I don't know what to say. Like even describing what I do now, it's difficult because I don't know how I do it. So I would just say it's God. But
Wow.
we're pretty well trained. We have sets of steps that we're supposed to take through every call. So if you just stick to the script, then you're good. But put in my I put in my personality with it too. So we establish rapport in the beginning, connect with the clients, get them to trust me. And I find that with a lot of the calls, they're at the brink. Some of them are hurting themselves, but there's a reason why they picked up the phone and they called instead of moving forward with whatever plan or urge they had.
Hmm. Let me ask you a question. Like when it comes down to people saying like they have literally no reason that they want to live, that nothing makes them happy. How do you kind of circumvent that situation where they feel like everything bothers them? So there's no anchor for them to really feel like everything's so monotonous that they don't see the light in anything. How do you deal with that?
Then what we do, or what I do, is I start trying to get them to talk about it. Okay, I understand. Tell me why. Why? And then I just ask follow-up questions, open-ended questions. So it's not yes or no. It's always going to be, all right, tell me a little bit more about that. How did that make you feel? And then you kind of show some empathy. Like, for example, if they're like, my dog died, I would be hurt too if I was to lose someone close to me. It's understandable to feel the way that you do. So we just like validate their feelings, let them know, yes, it makes sense how you feel. I would be hurting too. Others in your situation would feel the same way. And it kind of, over time, they feel a little bit better. There's times where they don't feel better, and I have to initiate an emergency response to get them safe, but that's not always. But it does happen. It happens sometimes.
So what about situations where they feel guilty for feeling the way that they feel because they feel ungrateful about the fact that they don't like things that everybody else probably feels great about? I mean, how do you deal with that?
We just focus on the guilt. Like, okay, you feel guilty. You're validated in the way that you feel. Again, it makes sense that you feel some guilt. Why do you feel that way? What happened that made you feel that way? Or how long have you been feeling that way? When did you realize you felt that way? Did something happen? And then, sorry, someone's making an announcement.
Yes,
know.
please catch your
Okay.
Is that you? We don't want you to miss your plane, please.
No, I won't. I'm watching the time. My onboarding time is like, I don't know.
Okay.
6:30, I think.
You're in the right moment.
6:30. Okay. Okay. We got to use the most of this
But
15
I
minutes.
would ask, like, okay, how long have you been feeling this way?
Mhm.
And what kind of was the catalyst for making you feel the way that you do? Did something out of the ordinary happen? Did someone spray a perfume and it incited a memory or something? And usually they have an answer, but if they're like, oh, I felt like this, I feel like this all the time, then there's always, usually, even if it's 5 minutes where they don't feel the way that they do. So we start to kind of shift the focus to that 5 minutes. Oh, really? What was going on? What were you thinking about during that time?
Go ahead.
See, I like that because that's what also keeps me motivated. Right now is that like I'm like I have to be. I find myself and I've been preaching this on this platform for a long time is that when you're not grateful, what I'm saying, for
Yeah,
what's going on, you tend to be more depressed or sad about something.
correct.
When you got nothing to be happy about. Like you just don't want to give any thanks for anything. So you just feel like, oh, this is all that I have. I'm like, it's not. It's what you're choosing to have.
I think I turned my AirPod off.
You think it went to sleep? You're talking. We just heard you speak.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
We heard you perfect, but
Can you hear me?
it sounded good. Yeah, it
Better
I don't
than
know what just happened.
sounds really good like this.
before.
I don't know. I don't know what you're hearing. Maybe she can't hear us.
Yeah.
But that was going really, really good. And you notice how we get into talking about our testimonies, and we have all type of technical difficulties.
Of course. Because it's helping somebody somewhere.
We're helping somebody. We're going to help somebody, and we get these technical difficulties. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, she's back. Okay, she's back.
All right. We're somebody that
That's
helps
now.
people.
Yes. Whatever you did before, that sounded really, really good.
It sounded really good. Whatever you did.
Is it bad now?
No, it's
It
great.
sounds great. It sounds really
Sounds
good.
good.
I don't know what you did, but it sounds amazing now.
I scratched my ear and knocked out my earphone and put it back in.
Well, hey, it did the trick.
It did what we needed it to do.
Excellent.
What's next? Okay. Do you feel is there any is there any room for like cultural biases during a call? Is it, you know what I'm saying? It's like you guys, y'all know you were raised a certain way. There's Dirk that was raised a certain way. I was raised a certain way, and then you hear somebody talk about what they're talking about, and you just like, how did you get here? I couldn't see that from my perspective. Hey, do you ever have those moments where you just gotta go, let me just read the script because I can't see this right now myself.
Absolutely. Like, I don't want to disclose too much information, but
You don't have to.
there was a particular individual, and this individual was apparently disgruntled because they got labeled a white supremacist.
Oh wow.
And the individual spent a lot of time on the call explaining how much they like the blacks. So
Oh,
they also, yes, the blacks, and they were very, very happy to talk to me because they knew I wasn't one of the blacks.
So I have had these conversations.
oh man.
So I had to just stick to the script, validate, do what I gotta do, and try to just get through this because I just wanted to outburst laughing, but I couldn't do that, of course.
I've had people talk to me like that, like, don't assign me a doctor because I don't like black doctors because they're what's called. I'm like, if you only knew who you're talking to.
You only knew who you were on the phone call with.
I know, right?
My God.
Well, I have nothing against anybody, but I just don't like black doctors. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
No problem.
So each his own.
Strange dynamics in your job. I mean, and so you need your own mental day to deal with all these type of things. So that's where you came down here. I assume that was the purpose,
Yes,
right?
I've been here since Monday, and I needed it. I was overwhelmed, burnt out, started to calling out, coming into work late, taking time. So I was like, all right. I talked to my supervisor. She's just like, yeah, why are you here? Go.
Yeah.
So I just went for a little bit.
Yeah, that burnout is that's real. Like I have, at my job, I'm on the phone as well, doing Medicare, and we experience that a lot because you're talking to people every day, all day, and some people have attitudes. You got to maintain a good attitude all the time, and you could even have that. And even as a teacher, like I always feel like it's really the class is how you control your emotions. Like I used to notice that the classes start acting crazy if I was acting crazy. If I was calm, no matter what they did, the class was cool. But if I couldn't set my emotions before I got there, then it was a problem. And you know what I'm saying? And it works the same way even on the phone. Like if I don't let your response bother me, then I'm good. But it's weird because I have to care about the individual and still stay comfortably numb. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's balance,
It's a really, really weird balance, bro. Because I had a class like that the other day. I'm coming into this level of teaching where I'm starting to go, I have to teach in different gears for different things. I just can't throw the same happy Mr. Effort at everybody.
No.
Everybody doesn't grasp everything as fast. I used to think like this when I first started teaching. I teach things like 5 different ways. And if I ran out of those 5, and if they didn't learn it in those 5 different ways, I was like, this is, I just got to move on. I can't get, you get so engulfed in it. It's like it gets personal. I'm going like, I've given you guys everything I got, and you're still yelling out answers that have nothing to do with anything we said. So I sit back and I take it personal and I go, hold on. I say, you know what? This is me. They're just being them.
Yeah.
They don't know that this is aggravating to me because they haven't taught 4 of the classes today where this worked.
True. That's true.
And now it doesn't work with any of you.
Yeah.
Nobody in the room.
Yeah.
It gets really overwhelming sometimes. So sometimes I have to tell myself, like, hold on, this isn't that class. This is that class that you get one thing out of them and you leave it alone. You're happy you got it. You happy you know what I'm saying? You got one thing taught today. All right, cool. If you get 2, it's a blessing. You know, it's an anomaly. It's a big difference. She's ready to hop on that plane, man.
Look like you ready
I
to go back to work. That's the big question.
I just looked at my boarding pass, so I gotta go sooner than I thought. But no, I am not ready to go back. I'm ready to miss this plane. I'm ready to miss this plane. Stay in Florida.
Oh, because you don't want to go back, huh?
Really quickly. What are your plans? Is your plan to stay in this profession, or what do you want to do next?
My plan is I'm actually starting a master's program, and I'm going to be doing counseling. So I'm going to be a therapist with a specialty in substance abuse.
Nice.
So I didn't really get to talk a lot about the substance abuse today. We can talk about that another time, but I'm with that population a lot, with drugs and alcohol and everything.
Wow.
So I'm going to be a counselor for that.
All right.
That's a beautiful thing. We appreciate you for coming on.
We appreciate your time.
Yes. We
know you got a flight to catch.
Short notice.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
You're welcome, and you're welcome back. Now we gotta have you back. So get back into work, get back into this and the other. But when you're ready, we'll have you back on the podcast. All right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it was nice talking to you last night. That was really refreshing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Safe travels.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, man.
That was refreshing, Dirk.
Huh?
That was dope.
Yeah.
We just did our first interview with somebody catching a plane.
That is. And they were talking about suicide.
And they were talking about suicide prevention.
Yes.
And they were talking, so it's a wild job, man. Wanted to talk to her more about it, but we can talk about it. We can have her back on the pod. Yeah. But like me being I feel like I don't get too ethereal, but I feel like I feel other people's emotions.
Yeah.
Or I used to at some point. And I could just like, hold on. Like to be on the phone with somebody who I've had one friend that I had to comfort at a time like that. Yeah. And it was too big for me to even think about.
Yeah.
So I didn't let them think about it too much. I was like, this isn't what I got to say is all I have to say. I don't have any training in this type of prevention, but I'm like, you're here. You don't have to do this. This is not something you can go on with life. You can move on. This are things that you can't overcome. There are things to be grateful for. There are things that you have that other people don't have. And never to demean how they feel, but at the same time, I can't get over how great the gratitude I have for them just being in my life, being able to come to me and tell me something that important.
Yeah.
I can't, I'm like I'm not gonna be sitting here just missing you because you decided to leave. No. No. Sometimes I make it personal. I'll be like, yo, you can't do this to me. No,
don't mess me up. Mess me up doing something. You
can't do this to me. Like, no, I'm good.
You think about your own stuff.
Yes, let's go find something else to think about. Yeah. Because this ain't it. There's a million other thoughts to have.
I always got. I sorry to cut you, but I always had the notion, and I talked to somebody about this before, and they, who has kind of depressive states and stuff like that, and they really don't find that much joy in life, like in certain things. And I'm like I don't have that capacity. Like I'm usually 99% of the time I'm pretty happy. Unless it matters, somebody cuts me off in traffic, and I find things to be happy for. Like I'm really grateful to wake up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And then I find things, but then I found that these individuals, like gratefulness, is like they want to be grateful, but they can't even feel grateful, and then they feel guilty for not feeling grateful about being in life. So that they can't even get to grateful because they don't even feel good enough to get grateful, which is weird to me.
It's weird, and sometimes I feel like a piece of it is diet.
Yeah,
And what I
think
mean
so.
by diet is like
Yeah,
what you're ingesting. I mean, like
true.
from your eyes to your ears to the
Yeah,
food you eat to
yeah,
how it digests in your stomach.
true.
Sometimes we're just we've been consuming
Mhm.
so much negativity.
Yeah,
We've been consuming so much stuff that doesn't feed
the
our
feel good.
grateful part of us.
Correct.
You
Because
know?
it's hard to be grateful if you feel bad,
Right.
right? And you're eating
It's
bad.
one thing. You already don't feel good because your body's just like,
Yeah,
nah, I'm
it's
good.
rejected.
Like I don't feel good.
Mm.
This stuff that you put in me is not working.
True.
Or, let's take it to the extreme.
Mm.
Health wise, you just might not be feeling good at all, no matter what you eat.
That's true. You're right.
Some people have that,
Yeah.
and to overcome these things,
Mm.
isn't always like a mathematic formula to fix it.
True.
But what I'm saying, yeah, we have to watch our diet, and when I say diet, I mean whatever we consume, from
What we
hearing,
consume.
talking to singing.
Yeah.
You you know, I don't feel like you can just watch a couple videos and be okay, but
Mm.
some people's situation is you can watch one video on something
Mm-hmm. Can change
that
your life.
that could change your whole life, or you could
Yeah.
hear somebody talking, you could
Yeah.
hear the word,
Yeah.
and that's when it hits you that you should be grateful.
True.
You could actually eat something that is better for you than not good for you.
Yeah.
And I like to tell people, like, you don't have to be rich to eat clean.
True. You don't. You just have
You
you
you,
create.
you really have to be around the clean stuff to eat
Yeah.
clean.
Exactly. And it's a
You know?
choice because how much do you
Big time.
actually love yourself, right? That's
Mm,
the question. How much do you feel God loves you? How much do you love yourself? And how much do you feel you need to be validated by his love? You know what I'm saying? Or by the love that people around you. When you're always searching for validation, it doesn't make you feel good. You know what I'm saying? And every once in a while I gotta catch myself like trying to get validation from somebody, be like, nah, I don't need it. You know what I'm
no, I
saying?
don't need it.
I
No,
don't need it. Why am
no,
I
I'm
looking
good.
for them? No, forget it. Look to God.
Not listening. Like,
And
no.
it's a slippery slope, right?
Yeah, it is. You want to be better, so you think listening to somebody else that has a different opinion of it
Yeah.
would help you be better. But sometimes it's just like, it's really, sometimes a lot of people are waiting on other people to tell them that it's okay.
True. And then they're also not. I remember one thing that Miles Monroe was saying, and I've been quoting because I've been listening to him about leadership. And one thing he said, the thing that God showed him is who he was. Like most people don't know who they are. Like if you know you're a child of the king, you're a queen, you're a king, you behave in that such manner. Like if you don't feel like if you don't know who you are and what your purpose is, it's kind of hard for you to be like, why should I wake up in the morning and do anything?
Right.
Thing.
Why?
Why? Because what am I doing here? I
When you're
think
not. Yep.
you're not fulfilling a purpose. Like you don't think like, okay, I have talent to do this. It's like the old imposter syndrome, right? Like you have the ability to do something, but you're not convinced that you belong there. Like I remember Obama was talking about the fact that a lot of the people that you think on this level are really, there's dumb people at this level too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
As much as there's intelligent people, you're like, oh, you're world leaders. There's world leaders who's intelligent. There's world leaders who are dumb. Dumb as a doornail.
Here it is.
You know what I'm saying? So don't think that just because you get to a certain level, there ain't nobody out there like you. There's somebody out there like you. You know,
There's definitely somebody out there like you.
You know what I'm saying?
Trust me. Don't you just probably put your energy in the. We've been talking about this.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna switch the conversation up. Is that putting our energy in the wrong place?
True.
This is kind of follows what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
When I told you that we were on the fast, it's just like you're just putting your energy in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Sometimes you which leads to the conversation of purpose.
Yeah.
Putting your energy in something else while the other thing is dying.
Yeah.
When that one thing that's dying could be the thing that takes you to the next level, or even just sustains you. You know what I'm saying? Something that satiates you, something that makes you happy. You know, you feel like, oh, I've been doing this so long that I just got to keep doing it. That might be that thing that's making you sad all the time.
True.
You know,
you recognize it.
You don't recognize it. You don't see it. You can't see it no other way.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to take the God's eye view of going, hold on, this could be this way or this could be that way. I could be offended, but if you took any time in your word, God tells you to be as forgiving as He is, as quick to forgive.
Quick to forgive.
And He says, don't waste your time.
Yeah.
Waste your time like getting up the strength to forgive. It's like we need you to have it like on deck, pouring out. You need to be pouring out forgiveness.
And slow to speak.
Slow to speak. Take your time.
Yeah,
okay, be merciless. You can be merciful to people.
Yeah.
And to be merciful to people would also mean that you have a stance of being not higher than people, but being highlighted. You have to have an idea that you can extend mercy to people.
True.
And extending mercy to people will require you to be in a place where they're not. Let's just say, for lack of a better word.
And extend it to yourself too.
And extend it to yourself.
Yeah.
You are high. You are up there. You belong here.
Yeah.
This conversation, man, that brought back memory from a long time ago. I mean, 20 years old memory. Wow. I was like, yo, I remember when that happened to me and somebody just called me up, was like, I feel like doing this and I feel like doing this. And I was just like, I'm on my way. Let's go to the movies or something. Let's hang out. I don't know what's going on, but I'm hanging with you.
Yeah.
That's a lot to do with a job, though.
It's a lot to have a job like that. I mean, I've had my moments where I'm like, man, shoot, but then I'll find a way out of it very quickly. You know what I'm saying? Find a comedy show or find a way to make myself laugh. But I always had this understanding, like I'm responsible to choose my own happiness and joy. Like I at a certain point, I decided, like, I'm going to choose to be happy. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to choose to do this. Like this is a day that the Lord has made. I'm choosing to be happy because I could be angry or mad about, like, this lady at the bank took my license, bro. It hurts me because I'm driving around with no license and the bank doesn't open till Monday. And I'm like, lady, she helped me so well, and then you hurt me because you took my license. You know what I'm saying? And now I got, I ain't gonna, God forbid anything happens. I'm like, man, you done took my license. You're responsible, but I'm not mad about it because, like, what am I just wait till Monday. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'll get that. But it bothered me for like half a second. Then I'm like, are you going to be mad about this all weekend until Monday? Or are you going to choose to just be like, listen, it is what it is.
It is what it is right now.
I can't get it. It ain't going to change. Me huffing and puffing is not going to get it. I'm not going to break it to the bank and get it. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
It's not going to happen. So just wait till Monday. It'll be
You waste
fine.
your money. Why even give it a second thought? It is there.
Is it
You're
there?
here.
Some people will
Send
take
me
a
over
thought
till
like
Monday.
that.
You
Exactly.
gotta be. You know what, bro? I think that's a lot of people's like in between right there, bro. A lot of people don't know how to manage that type of situation. Like they're gonna be mad about it.
Yeah.
But what I found out is that you do more harm worrying about it
Mhm.
than you ever will just letting the situation play out until you can get to it.
True. Exactly.
Why put that on your brain? You're distracted now. You can't fulfill any type of purpose.
Yeah.
If you're upset, if you're really that upset, like you can't finish anything.
Yeah.
Nobody gets your attention. Let's say if you're a father, a mother, a son, or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you can't be all the way there for them.
Nope.
If you're like in a situation if you're in that situation in your brain playing that situation every moment of the day. I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
And one day I just decided, you know what? They're just gonna be mad with me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be okay. And I just need to be okay with it. I'm like,
you gotta stay with it. You gotta think about something else.
I didn't commit no crime or nothing. Why am I so upset about this?
Because the potential, you can be pulled over, you can get a ticket.
There's that.
It's all the things that go along with that. You know what I'm saying? That it could potentially, but a lot of things that you think are gonna happen don't even happen.
Don't even.
And if it does, just deal with it. Like, hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is. I would tell you, I don't know if you got your passport, but I carry your passport on you. Maybe you can give them your license number. Maybe I don't know if you wrote down your license number anywhere.
I have it. I have a picture of my phone.
Oh, if you got a picture, then
yeah.
They just have to deal with that. They just have to deal with your picture. Like you gotta.
I'm not even giving energy because I'm gonna be good.
See,
it's just energy you give to it, right? That causes it. And that's what the stress is. Like even with jobs and being burnt out, like this week was a rough week, man. It was like I was like her, man. Calling out, trying to get the mental space and taking a personal day because you're just overwhelmed with all the things that you need to get done. But then it's like you got to, at a certain point, you got to be like, you know what? Hold on. Everything's not gonna fall apart right now.
Nope.
You're cool in this moment. You got shelter. You got food. You got transportation. It's not that bad. It's really not
that bad. And people call it. I can see people calling in. I can see the other side of the conversation, right? I care about people, but at the same time, I can see the other side of the conversation. I say, bro, you're in a first world country.
Yeah, exactly.
First world problem. You can go outside and buy clean water.
Yeah.
From everywhere that people will pour out on the ground.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? There are things that other nations and other people will never see.
And they do not take their life. That's life, like daily life, like getting food that day is their biggest problem. Like
biggest, you gotta find out where it's gonna come from, how it's gonna be made.
Yeah,
who's gonna put it together? Oh, if this truck doesn't come today, we don't eat.
Exactly, we don't eat, and if we have to drink some water, it's gonna be dirty, and I might get sick.
I might get sick. I gotta pray I don't get sick.
Exactly.
So our problems. My internet went out. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, my car broke. I'm like, there's a bus that comes every hour. I got this giant bill. They're gonna wait just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Man,
everybody
wants to get paid.
Everybody wants to get paid. Everybody's in your pocket.
Everybody's in your pocket. And until you put yourself back in a situation where you're back on top of it, then you can't stress yourself out. I did that this week. I was just sitting there thinking about something that I had to pay, and I was just like, yo, I like, Lord, I don't know how or when you're gonna make a way. Matter of fact, I took my wife to the spa this week. I did something really nice for her. I said, I'm gonna send you to the spa, right? So I pay for it. I set up the appointment. I'm thinking they take this money out as soon as you do it. So I'm like, good. So
Yeah.
when I'm down to zero now, I'm like, cool.
Now they want to take money.
Still paid for that.
Yeah.
You get there and they go, oh, we need the card that you put on hold.
Wow.
And I immediately go to pray. I say, Lord,
Mhm.
you know I don't have it in this account.
Yeah.
Whatever you can do to make sure I have it when I go up this elevator and I pay these people, I need you to make a way.
Yeah.
And he made a way yesterday, So I'm thanking God for that. But then I had another struggle. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
It's only a struggle as long as you want to make it one.
You want to make it a struggle. Exactly.
Because it wasn't bothering nobody but me.
Yeah.
So I had to clean that up yesterday. I had to change my mindset. It took me a little while to get off of it. But I had to keep reinforcing myself. And I feel like sometimes we get into this new style therapy that we can just comfort ourselves out of all of our problems.
Yeah.
Like we never have to be stronger to get through the next problem that's going to happen again.
Of course.
It's going to happen. It's a lesson, but sometimes you can't be comforted out of it. You have to be made stronger by it, and we have to move forward. We have to be able to move forward for when it comes again.
Yeah, because you're prepared. Like you said before, you got to move forward. And remember, like we talked about the scissors, right? It happened to be there for us to do something that we were doing. Wow. Like literally, it was just built for that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like there's situations that you're being built for that you have to struggle so the way you can deal with them later on. Right. And that could be like you were talking about with the finances. I'm changing my mindset how I deal with finances. I don't know about you, but I'm a man, so I look at my bank account every single day, think about it, concerned about it, worry about it, elated. It's always in my brain. And after a period of time, like, yo, like I remember I sent you something, and this is interesting that this guy was talking about. A lot of times we have areas that Jesus or God is a part of. He's not the center of your life. He's part of your life. Now, when he's the center, then he's Lord over all of it. Whereas I had to start looking like, what parts of my life is God not the center, but only the part? How can I shift him from being part to center? And that could be like your finances, it could be your relationships, it could be everything. And then it's like trying to manage that to negotiate, like instead of me concerning about finances or relationships or this, turning it completely over to God. Not just like some piece of it, like, hey, God, I pay my tithes and my offering, but I still got it. This is me. You know what I'm saying? It's not all still me, even though it belongs to him. But turning it all the way over, not turning some things over, turning every part over to God. Turning management over so you letting him actually, Jesus take the wheel for real, let him take the wheel. And then you just be part of the ride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man, it's wild. This has been a wild ride, man.
Yeah.
I think we had a really good podcast, bro.
Bro.
I think this went really, really dope, man.
Yeah.
Testimonies, suicide prevention hotline. I believe it was 988. Where she's from. We extend. Maybe we'll put some information at the end of this video about the suicide prevention hotline so that everybody has an opportunity to have it available to them. Because we understand that everybody's not strong enough to figure it out all on their own.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need somebody to partner with you.
Yeah.
And we are partnering with y'all, man, right here on the Next Level Nation podcast.
Yes. Exactly.
By leaving the information after the video. Yeah. I'm gonna put a link in here. We're gonna put a link in here to the suicide prevention hotline. We're gonna put some other stuff if it's not into that series, maybe you just need somebody to talk to, and we're probably gonna add some stuff to that effect. So we're just telling you guys, man, keep strong, keep sharp, stay after it.
Stay after
And
it.
if you don't know,
now you know.
now you know.
We love y'all.
Right here on the Next Level Nation podcast. Love y'all. Deuces.
Deuces.